Hey everyone, and welcome to Old World Tech Fridays. I'm
Hi.
joined by my
Hello.
co-host Trina GPT,
And I am
and,
Ryan.
and everything is neat garage.
I am GPT Trina.
I am Ryan, but I went to the US and I got an upgrade.
Whoop!
Now, even I got an accent,
That's right.
but I'm still Canadian.
The things you can buy. How are you guys this evening?
Awesome.
Good.
How about you guys?
I'm
Good.
wonderful. I'm at work.
So Trina is on the road. She is going to her work. What is it? What the
Yeah,
heck does
work.
work stand for?
World
Hang on, I
of
gotta
Retro
think.
World of
Computing.
retro,
Yes.
World of retro
Retro
computing.
Computing. That's what it was. I was like, God, my mind went blank. I couldn't remember what the acronym stood for.
And here
so-
I am, just
Yep.
chilling in the hotel room.
And and then Javier was nice enough to join us to talk a little bit about some stuff he's got going on and his experience this past weekend at VCF Midwest.
You gotta go.
So let's see who's in the chat. Sloopy Malibu, I've heard of that guy. Frank S, hello Frank S. Thomas Armstrong. Will K Mac Vintage. Curtis Boyle, hello. Garth Beagle, hello. Let's see, and I think that's it. I don't think I missed anybody. And Trina of Trina's Technobabble. So we got famous people in the chat today.
Oh,
Look
Trina.
at that. Trina's here. So that's awesome. So it's been hectic for everybody lately, especially with VCF Midwest, and then Trina's got work, the World of Retro Computing, as we'd said. So she got the Canadian, I don't want to say trade show because it's not really a trade show, vintage computer show, I guess, of sorts, because they have a swap meet and all that there as well. So Javier, you went to VCF Midwest last weekend. Sloopy,
Yes.
you went to VCF Midwest last weekend, correct?
No,
No?
nope.
So just Javier from the three
We
of us.
miss you.
Well, that's because the reason why I'm frozen is because it's so cold here. It is Toronto.
So Trina says the Canadian VCF work is the Canadian VCF. It's the closest equivalent that they have in the northernmost region of North America.
That's right.
So VCF Midwest was in a traditionally cold area, obviously, next to Chicago there.
It was pretty warm, actually.
Yeah, it's been awful warm here too lately.
So it was.
How was your experience there? Tell us how it went.
This is my second time I go to BCF, and the first time, of course, I only went to as a visitor. This time I had a couple of tables.
Oh, awesome! So
and
you set up
and I brought a lot of 8-bit teas and 8-bit stuff things.
Awesome.
Almost everything sold. I was really amazed and really happy. But it was such a great experience because you see all kinds of computers, all sorts of parts of life, and everybody's so nice and cool and friendly. It was great. It was really great everywhere, and of course, most of the gang was there. Ron, Joe, the real everything is Crap Garage. We got our Canadians. I don't know how they let them pass, but we got them. And we got actually we got Australians too there, so it was good. That's
awesome.
Really nice.
I mean, I've always heard people when they talk about the different VCFs, of course, all of them have their positives. But I would say that everybody talks the most about Midwest. It seems to be if you can only go to one, that's the one not to miss.
I've been to the East, and it is great. It's very nice. There's a museum there, but it's smaller, and it's 2 buildings. You got to go from one building to the other. It's a little bit more different, so you got to be running around places.
So it's spread out quite a bit there.
Spread out. This one was like I'm not gonna say a football field, but I'm gonna say maybe like a airplane where you put the airplanes,
Hanger.
a hangar. Yeah, it was huge.
No,
Huge.
correct me if I'm wrong. This is the VCF Midwest is more at like a convention center type.
It is.
Right?
It is.
Yeah.
And it was packed.
That's
There was no space. So it was really nice.
That's really good. Now, obviously, the biggest complaint I've heard from people is that the time it's pretty short compared to
Yes.
other VCFs.
And I said, I agree. I went there. I arrived on a Friday noon. I set up everything. We ended up like at 11:30 at night. Go to bed. And next day, immediately at 9 o'clock, it was open already and hectic, crazy, crazy all day. I couldn't walk as much as I walk a little bit around, but I couldn't even stop to see things. It was so hectic, and of course, I gotta be on my table.
Yeah. So I mean, if they started it a little earlier, like essentially like if they did all day Friday and Saturday, at least it's spread out enough to where even the exhibitors can enjoy the show as well without having to be strung to the table like you were.
Completely agree. Yeah, I'm all for that. We may suggest that. I don't know how we can, but yeah.
Well, we talked about it a little bit briefly earlier, but I was saying a lot of the people end up having to fly in. So if they flew in a little earlier, then essentially you would have time to do it for Friday.
Yeah.
Or at least early afternoon, maybe at the the least.
Guys, I know they flew in on Thursday night. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's doable.
So yeah, that might be a cool idea, in the future.
And also the place was great. It's a huge convention center.
Yeah.
It's kind of isolated from the rest of the city.
Sure.
And honestly, what we got, it was part of it. There was 2 or 3 more big spaces that they had. So it's huge. And the hotel is amazing also. So
that's pretty much on site then too, the hotel.
So everything is on site. You can go out to have lunch or anything, but you don't need to. You don't want to.
That's fantastic. That's really
cool.
You got
everything, like a little city in there. Yeah.
So what would you say as far as the best part for you, of the trip?
Well, of course, as always, the best part is seeing my friends. And I think I didn't catch Chris, RetroTech Chris. And I'm sad about it because he's an awesome guy.
Yeah.
Other than that,
no,
I saw everybody.
There's a lot of people.
Mac.
Oh yeah, Will was there. There's I would say a lot
of very cool people there.
I know that like Ryan was his first time going.
Yes.
So there's a lot of people that you might see regularly or all the time that you might not have a chance otherwise to see would be at a VCF.
Or you'll never see in person.
That's true. That's true.
And it was a blast. I saw Bint Nerd.
Oh yeah.
He had a booth over there, and I was like, "Wow, you're here." He's from California, so yeah, he was.
Now I had heard from, I think it was Joe. We were talking about it last week. The way they set people up was kind of neat because they put people who were familiar with each other in areas next to each other.
Yes.
So like it was him, Ron, Mac 84, Steve, stuff like that. So we all associate with each other pretty regularly. So it's kind of like those people kind of went together. Like they had enough foresight to put people who talk to each other regularly together.
I think
that was neat.
4 tables from them. So I could look at them all the time.
Yeah.
And it was awesome because I just had to take 1 minute to go and talk to them and deal with them.
And then
I had the privilege to have Macintosh librarian next to me.
Oh, that's awesome.
So she was with us. She's such a nice person. Yeah. And then, of course, Mackie.
I had heard that, some of the big names, like for example, like Adrian's Central Basement. So
Adrian was there.
So like they put him toward one end so that it kind of like the crowd was kind of like, I don't know what the best word was. It's kind of like traffic control a little bit.
I'm going to tell you
strategically.
Bless Macintosh librarian Kate, because the moment she went there and she put her little things, everybody began to.
Drew people
I
to
was
your
actually
area.
the master of ceremonies. They were telling me, "Hey, where's Kate? Okay, she'll be back."
Well, for $5, we have a signing. There you go.
I should have done that. You know,
Yeah.
I should have. I'm the one who collects the signing. You know,
That's
there
right.
was lines of people waiting
Wow.
to talk to her. It was
That's
funny.
crazy. But yeah, a lot of these people, like for example, like Kate or Adrian or things like that, who have like pretty large YouTube following.
Yeah.
It's interesting because like they don't have like authors, like they don't have like book signings or things like that. So like the only place you're really gonna run into these people, other than at their local Walmart or something, is at like VCF, where everybody comes together in this one place, to hang out and share their things. And like you have a lot of neat products that you took with you that you've designed and put together and built. It's great to have a place to be able to see those things in person and
showcase.
And your work,
whatever you do. You know, I was very surprised that I was just showcasing the Adafruit. Have you heard about it?
Yeah.
They I was like, oh my god, I'm in Adafruit. So
now I believe so. Trina did a stream last year.
And Anne was there
with the women, and Anne was there. Yes, from Adafruit. So so she was super nice.
She's
Anne,
super cute.
Super nice.
I was very unhappy that I couldn't see her and say hello.
So now Anne's partner was on too, and I believe that she works for NASA.
Both work for NASA, I think.
Yeah, crazy smart people.
Oh yeah, of
smart
course.
People.
Of course.
Yeah. One of the benefits of actually having a table there and demoing and such is during the day it's packed. There's tons of people. You're not going to really be able to get to talk to anyone for more than a few seconds. Like, hi, how you doing? Nice meeting you, and all that. Yeah. One of the benefits of having a table is that you're there later at night, because the show officially ends at 6, I think it is. But you're still there until 10 or 11. Well, that's the way it has been in the past. So you'll get a lot more time to actually go up to these people and actually talk to them.
Sure.
Because I know last year, when I saw the line for Clint, God, what's his YouTube? LGR. Clint.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. His line was probably like 60 to 100 feet long the entire day. And literally each person would get to talk, say, hey, how you doing? Can you sign this? I love your stuff. I remember this episode or that episode or this thing or that thing. That's nice and all that. And then that's it. And then they have to go to get through the line. Yeah. But around 7:30, 8 o'clock, I walked over to that area where he was, and he's like, hey, Sloopy, how you doing? He goes, you want a beer? And I'm like, no, but I'll take a drink. and we stood there and talked for a good 20 minutes. Yeah. And other people came up and talked, and
that's
literally
awesome.
You have like all the different people there, and like David Murray, the guy, he was there, and you'd stand there and talk, and you'd actually get actual real time to actually talk to these people for a few minutes and such. And so it's, if you're just there just to get stars in your eyes and be like, oh, wow. I mean, going during the day is fine and for a little bit, but to actually have in-depth conversations, sort of like Dave from Usagi Electric, when I was at VCF East, same thing. During the day, you couldn't get near him because there's like a big ball of people around him that are trying to talk to him.
So other Dave's Vintage Apple Take was there.
Yep.
So again, people you see online that you may not get a chance to see otherwise.
Garth, Yep,
Garth as well. Yeah. So like as far as like I said earlier, I mean, a lot of people have said it. If you're going to go to any VCF Midwest is the one to go to, because there's so many people from all over that go to that one, and it's obviously it's a very good size, and the venue's ideal for the size.
You know who was in front of me? Crazy Ken.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
And Crazy Ken, when I first time I heard about him, I thought he was just a snooty guy because he was so famous.
Sure.
And then when I met him, he's such a nice guy. He's such a sweetheart, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I went and said hello, and he was like, "Yeah, how you doing, man?" He's such a nice person. So I'm so happy that also that you get these nice people that you know you always follow.
Yep.
So you get to see them in real time and see how cool they are.
Yeah, I find that most of the people are very nice.
Yes.
If they're not there as a strictly selling thing, they're there for the nostalgia and for the classic computers and such.
Yeah.
They're very nice people. And there are a few that are there just purely for the monetary aspect of it. And they're not as enjoyable to talk to, but there's so many people there that you don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much anyone that you talk to for more than 2 seconds. And in the chat, RetroTech Chris says, yeah, the best advice is not to do the starstruck thing. Talk to these guys like normal human beings. But when you see a true famous YouTuber like that RetroTech Chris guy, there's nothing you can do but deer in the headlights.
That's right.
Oh my God, it's Chris.
Every time I see RetroTech Chris, I just do it. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy.
I want to be like you when I grow up, Chris.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
Also, Eric was there. Eric is here.
Eric of Eric's Edge. Yep.
Oh my God, love Eric. What's up, brother?
But you get so many people. I mean, like you said, the people from Australia came. You had Ryan came from Canada. MacFX. You had Will from the Cayman Islands came up.
Yep.
So that's why I said there's so many people from all over the world that come to the VCF.
And people that are not famous too. You know, a lot of good friends that are in the community. You know,
like L. Curtis Boyle.
Yeah, Curtis.
That's true.
Jonathan A. there also. He was there.
Will says Adrian walked around, but he never saw the 8-bit guy when he was there.
And Curtis, you're not a jerk. You're just Canadian.
We've seen Joakim a few times on stream. He was there from Sweden.
That's right.
So you got a lot of awesome people. You know, were able to make it. So that's
the best part. You know, chill out with your friends. I think it's 90% or 80% of the experience. And of course, looking at all the cool stuff that people have. I'll check it out, Trina. And all the new cool stuff that people are working on.
Oh yeah.
By the way, I got something from Ron. He was so nice to give me this.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Adapters for joysticks and mouse. So I'm gonna be playing with it. I need to test it, and he told me this is what it is for, blah blah. So it's very well. It's a great concept, and I'm gonna be testing it. So thank you, Ron, again. You know, and like that.
Yeah, exactly.
You see things
now you had a lot of stuff that you took with you. I mean, you had quite a few different projects this year. You did the floppy emu cases.
Yep.
Hang on.
So I had the floppy emu cases, like the one you got somewhere there.
I'm looking. I was like, I literally just had it last week, so I know it's right here. That's the problem. I have so much stuff everywhere in here that it's difficult to find everything.
they all,
but these came out amazing.
They all went.
I love these.
They all went.
So these sold out.
They sold out.
And then
I had the clear case drives.
Yes.
I had the mice, the normal mice.
Yep. The optical mice
for the mouse for the Apple II. Yes. I also was showing the prototypes for the optical mouse for the Lisa. Jeez,
fantastic.
There, hopefully there. Whatever. And also the one for the Amiga that was a great success. I actually tested in several Amigas over there.
Awesome.
I brought it with me, and people wanted to see when we're gonna have available. So I'm ramping up my production right now.
Yep. Sign me up. Hang on. This just in. Special bulletin. Joe.
Oh,
yeah.
Joe!
Speaking of famous people who went to VCF.
Mm-hmm.
Famous.
He was there just chilling.
I'm like
Infamous.
a C-list extra on a bad movie, if you want to call me.
Right.
He was just sitting there basking, and everybody just admiring him. Oh, Almighty! Everybody wanted to bring some things to Almighty God.
Does
Joe.
anybody want to see my IP address?
So your modem is working correctly
Yes.
now?
Yes.
Oh, great
I had to-
success.
I had to call them on the phone.
So they had to
activate
re-script it?
They're like, yeah.
So you're
they're like,
Speedy Joe now?
It's stupid. So like they make you go to a website. They do like a captive portal thing to make you activate it, and you go to the website, you log in with your ISP ID, and it goes through a whole bunch of stuff, and then it takes me to the account page. I'm like, okay, it must be activated, but it doesn't work. And then I call the phone number, and like, are you trying to activate? Yes. And then it's like, you have terms and conditions. Go to the activation page. That never shows me terms and conditions. Ever. So then I had to call tech support and have them like touch the modem, and it would.
You are tech support.
Anyway, back to the show. Sorry, everybody.
Hey, we were talking about BCF Midwest.
Yes.
What do you think?
Yeah. VCF Midwest. Go ahead.
I just want to say Joe is an A-lister to us
That's right.
third string bench warmers.
Okay. Sure. No, VCF Midwest was fantastic. I unfortunately didn't get to see as much of the show in the kind of live interactive way as many people who just went did.
Mm-hmm. That's what
because
Javier was saying.
Booth.
Yeah.
But so many cool exhibits there that I at least got to walk through and check out before each show started each day. Somebody had the Chuck E. Cheese, like the Chuck E. Cheese automation system there.
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
The electronic control system that was computer controlled with servos and like relays to make the robots work.
Oh,
they didn't have the robots. That would be really cool. But they had the system.
Just the servos, yeah.
They did have somebody had a robot there that he had hacked to be controllable with his phone, and of course there were Shady Tell was there who set up an entire actual central office with dialable phone numbers and stuff. So you plugged into a jack, you had a phone number.
That guy's amazing. That guy's amazing. Yeah.
And
that's fantastic.
Just stuff. It was insane.
Well, what's crazy is the amount of knowledge, if you think about it, in one building. Collectively, like that's just absolutely crazy.
Yeah. I spent most of my time behind my booth. People walking up and saying, "Hi, Joe, can I have blue scuzzy, please? Please give blue scuzz. Need scuzz for computer doodles," and almost sold out. I took a lot of blue scuzzies with me, so it was a success in that viewpoint. From
next year, I want Joe to sell out a blue scuzzy. So you people out there in Viewerland listening,
I forget. So I bought a blue scuzzy, and I went to jcm-1.com.
I have no idea at all where you could get those. No idea.
Not a clue. I've never bought one.
But yeah, no, it was cool. But
nobody asked for the amber sassy?
You need blue scuzzy.
Yeah, no.
Blue scuzzy.
Yes. But really, the coolest thing was the ability to get to see all my internet friends in person. I got to see Javier in person for the first time in 4 years. 5 years?
And I'm alive.
No, I saw you. I saw you last year. I saw you previously.
Yeah.
Kansas Fest. And you got me sick. You jerk. No, I'm kidding. I love you. Of course, Ron, which I saw at K-Fest, but I got to see Steve for the first time. Steve and I were sat right next to each other, and we were butt buddies. We were seated so close to each other that we could have just been literally spooning the entire time. It was interesting.
Stop bragging.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Steve, I tell you what, Steve, he's a looker. Anyway, no, seriously. Sorry, Steve. Sorry. Eric was there. He was to my right. He sold out everything he had. All of his stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
He brought like
Holy
10
cow.
machines, and they just went.
Holy cow.
Went away. Canadian Computer Collector was right next to that, and the next to that was KMac Vintage. So I got to meet Will and Joachim. That was really cool.
That's awesome.
Juicy Crumb, which is like the Blue Scuzzy distributor in Australia, was just Thank her. Thanks, Eric. No, and the Juicy Crumb, which is the Blue Skies distributor in Australia, but they're also doing like this cool project where you can like convert your monitors, your old iMacs into monitors because they have excellent panels. They were right next to there. Sean with Action Retro is right there. I got to meet Adrian Black of Adrian's Digital Basement. That guy is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He
That's
is
so
the
cool.
nicest human being. Well,
On
the
Earth.
second nicest human being behind Ron that I have ever met in my life. Sorry, Javier, you're a jerk.
Compared to Adrian,
But you're right.
yeah. Adrian just like he just comes up and he's like, "Hi, how you doing? Oh, it's Joe. Hi, Joe." Because I
He's
guess
a
he's
sweetheart,
seen some
yeah.
of my videos.
He's
and
amazing.
He's like,
Yeah.
shake my hand and gave me a big hug, and it's like I have never met you before, but this is awesome.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
this stuff. It's just the coolest. We got to hang out in the lobby. Ryan of Everything's Broken Garage. Dave of Dave's Vintage Apple Tech. Jeremy Javier was there. Everything is neat garage. Yes. Javier.
I'm replacing.
Jeremy of Jeremy's Retro Bar. I'm sure that Savvy Sage was there. We got to meet them. Just tons of people. Retro Bits was there. Everybody. When Adrian rolled back into the Stop Bit show with the lab coat on. Oh yeah, so if you ever see Adrian, I'm gonna call him out, or I'm gonna let everybody know the secret. So if you're at a convention and you see Adrian in regular Adrian attire, that's Adrian. That's YouTube Adrian. If you see him with a white lab coat on,
Okay.
that means his blood alcohol level is probably twice the legal driving limit. That's fun, Adrian. That's fun, Adrian.
Doctor?
But,
Doctor?
Yeah, Dr. Adrian.
Dr.
Yes.
Adrian.
Just tons of cool people. We got to hang out in the
That's awesome.
lobby and just because this venue was better because it had a lot more public hangout space.
Yeah.
So we were able to just kind of like congregate after the show or before the show, and just like be friends and not even have anything to do with the tech. Just be around and be friends, which is awesome. Which was super, super cool. So that's all I had to say. I just came to yes, quackofdawn.com. It's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah, that's going to be an awesome game.
So yes,
Billy.
Anyway.
They're after you.
Yes.
And let's not forget also that there was all the famous ladies. I already mentioned
Taylor and Amy were there. Taylor and Amy there.
But Taylor and Amy was there. Veronica's Plains were there. You missed Trina.
Yeah, we missed you, Trina.
There.
Miss Fox was there. Macintosh Librarian was there. Mackie. I got to give Mackie a virtual hug. It was great. Mackie is adorable in person. Mackie is life, you know.
Oh yeah.
But other people were there too. There were a ton of people there that I wanted to meet that I just didn't get the chance to meet. Jim Brain of Retro Innovations, which is one of Sloopy's employers. He was there, and I didn't get to check out with him. I barely got to hang out with the Fujinet folks, but they had an entire booth set up with 10 machines of completely different types all connected together and doing one thing together because Fujinet just cool. Does that.
Yep.
I went and talked to them. I was all amazed that I talked to them.
Oh yeah, Joe. Good news for you then.
Yeah.
Tandy Assembly, you'll be able to meet Jim Breen.
Yay! Cool. I'm not gonna get Tandy Assembly is in a town that's in the news right now. We'll just leave it at that and move on.
So speaking of Tandy, does anybody have any Septandy projects going on?
Not yet.
I'm gonna mail a Tandy 1000 to get recap to Gut Bomb's supposed to recap the power supply for me. It's been broke since I got it. So
it's broke doodles.
Yeah.
Which 1000?
SX.
Oh.
Yeah, because Retro Check Chris, speaking of Chris, had put out a nice video earlier in the week about his Tandy 1000 SX, and that reminded me that I need to get mine repaired so that I can mess with my Tandy 1000SX.
Yeah.
Because they're neat
My
machines.
chair is falling apart. Stand by. I mean, we'll keep talking. I mean, I'm standing.
So speaking of neat machines, I picked up. I think I showed last Friday. I picked up the Sharp X68000. The second one came in, and I finally did get a video adapter because they use a different RGB format than the Mac, so the pinning is a little different.
Yep.
So I was able to get it to boot.
Nice.
Into Human OS.
Pretty.
Let's see. Hang on. Where's
Are you
the
using a Blue
button?
SCSI on it?
No, but I want to put one in because that is an option to put an
Joe has an anger with you now.
internal
I'm
Blue SCSI you
envious.
can put in.
I have news about Blue SCSI if we get a chance to talk about it.
So yeah, let's talk about Blue SCSIs.
So,
Hang on. Where's the button? Button. Who's got the button? There we go.
Cool. So, Blue SCSI news. There is a very small subset of Macintoshes, Sun machines, and some other machines that seem to just not like Blue SCSI for reasons. I was one of those affected. Gutbomb was affected. One of my customers, and so just a few other people. Is a very specific edge case with a very, I guess, specific set of whatever noodles.
Yep.
And we finally got to the point to be able to get one of the affected machines in the hands of the developers. We literally got a broken machine to Androta in Utah. I think he's in Utah. I don't remember. Out west somewhere. And Androta
He's super cool.
Androta's the best.
Super cool.
Super smart. Has a wonderful set of actual like physical dongly doodles. I like that word, that connect to the SCSI bus, and he can do low-level like analysis of the SCSI clocking. And he found out that in the SD FAT library, I think it was the SD FAT library, like before Blue SCSI even existed, there is a very minor race condition that can occur between the byte clock or the signal clocking, the bit clocking, and the reading sequence that for most projects that ever use that library would never see the problem. But I guess Blue SCSI is pushing the edges of like what it can do. I don't know.
Sure.
So we were running in very specific situations where that race condition would happen, and the Blue SCSI would actually write garbage to the SD card. Sometimes it would just screw up your Mac disk image, but in some cases it would actually trash the FAT file system on the SD card and render it unusable to format it. So, but because we have all these awesome folks, we were able to, and I say we as if I had something to do with it. All I did was complain that it didn't work. Anyway, Androta actually reached out to the SD FAT developer and was like, hey, we noticed this race condition in this specific way. Here's our suggestion on how to fix it. And they actually pushed an update to the SD FAT library. Or maybe it's the SDI library. It's one of the SD card libraries, which we were then able to pull into Blue SCSI, confirmed that it worked, made a couple tweaks to it to better suit us. Jean-Louis Gasset, yeah, I'm going to go like start my own competitor to Apple called B, and then fail because I'm an ass. Anyway, Jean-Louis Gasset, super intelligent guy. His head is so far up his rear end. Anyway, moving along. So yeah, we were able to make those changes. We tested it last night, and it fixed all of the problems. Problems gone. It fixed this race condition in multiple different machines that we were able to test. So hopefully it should be in the public usable repository by next week. We're still waiting to hear back from a couple people with completely different systems, before being absolutely sure. But like, it's fixed everybody we know of that we have contact with that have reported.
So that's even more compatibility.
Yes.
For Blue SCSI.
Yes. and
awesome.
future reliability for any machine that hasn't been tested on yet. Now we're not having to like hack around
Yeah.
a lot of weird things. We resolved a core issue with a core library that, again, wasn't even part of Blue SCSI. It was like it was a part of a public GPL library.
So it is September 13th, roughly 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that Joe shared this information. So everybody set their clocks, and let's see how long it takes for the other SCSI to say, hey, guess what? We came up with this super cool thing that's going to fix this. And there's going to be an announcement. So just you heard it here first.
It requires us to push it up to the main repository first.
Yep.
Curtis Boyle has a good question. Does the fix hit performance at all? From our tests, it does not. If anything, it will improve it by like 0.1%. Because we're optimizing a little bit the way the SD library works, but it's not intended as a performance fix. It is
a performance fix for all the machines that didn't work.
Well, yeah, it makes sense.
So now it's 100%.
So, yeah. So,
but that's awesome though. That's fantastic.
So, of course, because we're open source, those fixes, anybody who is based on that same firmware base, whoop.
Hey, John.
Is this Old World Tech Friday or Retro Repair Roundup? Yes, both. Sure, why not?
Which one of us gets to be Ron, and which one gets to be Rudy?
I am not to be Ron.
I can be Rudy. I'm crazy as him.
I'm Trina, Timo edition.
Again,
Javier, you're about as close to Rudy as we can get. I mean, you're both from Latin language speaking countries, so I would guess that's about as close as we're ever going to get to it.
Yep.
Now, just like we were talking about with the convention and the wealth of knowledge and stuff, same thing in the community, like with the Blue SCSI. Like it's fantastic when people come together and have a common issue and are able to figure it out and reach out to people and get something that's actually resolved.
Yes.
And also the developers are nice and approachable.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's another thing, because I heard of other projects that people are snooty and all that, and these developers are
you get some projects where there's a lot of gatekeeping and things like that, but that's not the case with Blue SCSI. Like everybody is trying to make it even better and push what it can do, and it's like the Wi-Fi. That's an amazing feature that was there pretty much. I mean, not really the whole time, but pretty much the whole time. You just switched out the Pico and made it work.
Yep.
So that's fantastic. And then that goes back to Javier had a lot of projects this year. Joe, did you take anything other than Blue SCSI to the show to sell?
I took Pico Gus's with me as well.
Oh, yeah.
And those are amazing.
They weren't as big a hit. And I think most of that was because Ian Scott Polpo, the developer of Pico Gus, was there too. And he had a whole 8-foot booth with computers set up there playing music with a backdrop and the whole 9 yards.
That's
so I think people, by the time they got to me, they're like, oh, you're selling Pico Gus too. Great. And then they walked right on by.
So a little oversaturated.
A little bit. Yeah. But that's okay.
Still, that's awesome. But that furthers the word and gets people out on the street saying, hey, I need one of those too. And just like the Blue SCSI, you can go to jcm-1.com to buy a Pico Gus.
Okay, enough talking about stuff on my website. What's going on with Old World Tech today?
Well, we can talk about also my new rebranded 8-bit stuff.
I love it.
So I gotta send it to you guys.
You should really
That's
just
awesome.
Instead. So it's basically rebrand of ABTs, but this is for stuff.
And it's 8-bit T's with 2 T's.
Yep.
Unlike me, who cannot spell on that one episode world. Yeah.
And it's stuff with 2 F's. Oh,
That's
yeah.
Right. Nice.
But I did that to separate, and I'm going to separate later the products.
Yeah, that's awesome though. So it's been a crazy busy year for everybody. I mean, there's been a lot of new things that came out this year. A lot of awesome projects across the board. So yeah, it's been crazy. It's hard to believe that we're pretty much about 2 weeks to October. at this point. So this
Yep.
year has gone by extremely fast. So do you
Yes.
have any new projects that you're working on, Javier, other than you had shared briefly the Amiga mice that you're working on? So
Yep.
that's awesome to look forward to.
So all these new things, the Amiga mouse, the all the mice that I had, there was a bunch of Lisas over there.
Yeah.
And when I showed them the Lisa mouse, they didn't recognize that it was not a real Lisa mouse. So that was
That's awesome.
very good. And we tested it in some Lisas.
Does it work on a Lisa?
Yeah.
Well, the Lisa has to work first.
Well,
Because this guy might want one of those, Javier.
so anyway, yeah, but they work very well and they look
That's
very
awesome.
nice. So, and they're very hard to get. But these ones were taking all the attention. To be honest, I was not ready for that. This is the little Apple IIe, and this is the one that actually got featured in Adafruit, and they've been contacting me from other places that they're going to talk about it too.
It's pretty awesome.
I actually met a couple of ex-engineers from IBM.
That's
And
awesome.
as you may know, let me give you a real quick story about this little thing. So this is a toy. I'm sorry. This is a toy that came like this.
Okay.
And IBM
That's the
used to
original.
give it away. So this is to put your pencils up here, and it has
Awesome.
a little thing to put your erasers and things over here in the office. And it's IBM. They just did it for something funny and all that.
That's really cool.
And I got a hold of it. Even the keyboard is pretty ugly. It's you cannot see it, but like
There you
barely can work. But anyway, I got it, and I got one, and I converted to a computer. So I put the drives. I put the drives over
That's
here.
awesome.
I printed a better keyboard.
Yeah.
And I put this little thing that, by the way, I'm trying to get a hold of these little things. If somebody knows where can I get these small ones, because I can get the big ones from telephones, but I cannot get the small ones. Anyway, this is a Raspberry Pi in here with a screen. Turn it on, it works, and the engineers that works at IBM, they saw it, they love it, and they told me you should sell this because people
so
will
cool.
love it. It looks really nice and blah blah blah.
So
Javier-
can you tell me where they got the original model en masse so I can just like convert them?
Yeah, basically.
Now,
But no.
3D printed it.
Well, you know me. I already recreated it in 3D, and I actually make it better.
that's awesome.
Look at the back.
It's
That
actually
looks
got
awesome.
bits and pieces.
Yeah. So I did it. I recreated. I make it nicer, so I can put my thing better. It has the little switch on the side and all that. So yeah, it's gonna be cool. And that's one of the things that I'm gonna be working on. And of course, my mice and all the 3D printed things. But yeah, I'm waiting for parts from China to put it all together. But it's gonna look nice.
You and me
You know-
both.
For that little spiral cord, you could just go to your local bank and cut the ones off the pens.
Mm.
That's
Why
what
do you
it
think our
reminded
bank
me
fees
of when
keep
I
going
saw
up?
it.
People
And I was
stealing
like,
the pens.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Man, oh, man. But that's awesome. That's a really cool project.
So
what
that's
else
it.
does everybody got going on?
Joe, more Blue Scuzzy.
More Blue Scuzzy are inbound. My wonderful friend Sloopy will be building those for me once I get the parts in stock.
Oh, that's actually a good
Um,
idea.
Yeah.
Kids'
Bracelets
bracelets
at the dollar store. Yeah, yeah.
That's a
Ooh,
good
good idea.
idea. That's a good idea, Will.
What else is going on? I'm going to be adding another Blue Scuzzy version. I'm going to be adding what's called the C60 or the C50 version, the big Centronics connector. Just so that there's
that's a good
another
one.
provider. Androida right now is the only one that does those.
Yep.
And I think it would be helpful to have another provider doodle that can do the thing.
Well,
So,
it'd be cool to have those for whenever you're using your CD300 or CD600 external. Just pop it on the end of that daisy chain.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
that'd be
So,
fantastic.
Is it going to be
that's
a
the thing I'm
mill
going to
or
be building. I also just recently put into my store some wonderful things from our friend One Bit Fever Dreams.
Oh, he's awesome.
He created some two-way and three-way MIDI switchadoodles, so you can pick both an input and an output without having to switch all your hardware around. So you can hook with the 3x3 anyway. You can hook 3 different MIDI signal. Well, I mean it's two-way, but like say you could connect 3 computers up to 3 different keyboards. And just pick the computer and keyboard you want to attach it to without having to move a whole bunch of cables around and do all this garbage. You just go flip the switch and it just moves it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So super duper awesome.
Hey, Rudy.
Really cool.
Rudy.
So those are available now.
That's fantastic.
That's really all that's going on in my world that's new, other than cleaning up this mess and doing
I have a question.
Point at the wall. That's not helpful, but
Yeah, I have a question about the C50.
Yeah.
Is it going to be a male or female connector?
Male connector. Because it'll connect to a standard female receptacle. That is the standard on most of those devices. Like a cable. So it just plugs right in. Mm-hmm.
Bam.
Yep.
That's
yep,
awesome.
doodle.
I need one of those MIDI things because these X68000s have a MIDI, the Midori, for them for MIDI. So that would be awesome to use for that.
Yeah.
Plus, you could do the Pico Gust, put some audio out from the Pico Gust. So yeah, have a MIDI party.
And the Pico Gust does MIDI. Yes, this was on
the floor. Right?
Yeah. So.
Well, that's the best way to test those. Durability, because the wires, you know how it is. Everything ends up on the floor.
Another cool update. Here's a Pico Gust, but as you notice, it's missing something over here. That's because I took that bracket off. One of the challenges we've been having with Pico Gust is finding a relatively reliable source for those custom-made brackets. One of my IT customers is a fabrication shop. They fabricate stuff with steel, and they have big robots that can cut metal out of sheets with blazing hot plasma. So I gave them one, and they're going to quote us what it costs to make some. So if we can get those faster and less expensive right here in the good old United States, right here in my hometown, I can just be like, hey, can you make another 1,000 of those brackets? Thanks. Awesome. And I'll just have them. They'll just be here.
I took the bracket off of my Pico Mem because I wanted to put it in this Amstrad portable giant beast here.
Portable.
And, it wouldn't fit in the thing with the bracket, so I had to take it off. And now I got to get some type of bracket, custom one for this because the hard drive in that was crap. So I just popped in the thing, and it works fantastic.
So if the hard drive was crap, then it was a soft drive.
It was.
A soft, smushy, stinky.
Yep. I couldn't try to force feed it that vintage Viagra, and still nothing.
Vintage Viagra. Yes.
Yep. I think they called it Tang.
Tang. Oh, yes. For sure.
I had some Sunny D earlier, and it reminded me of when I was a kid. We used to have the Tang.
Yes.
You mixed up with the water, the powder.
Juice, soda, purple stuff. Sunny D, hey, all right.
That's right.
I like Tang better than Sunny D.
That's right. Francois would like to know if your fabrication shop has a Bender B. Rodriguez.
Unfortunately, no. Those have not been invented yet.
Aww.
Darn. Kool-Aid. Yep, we had Kool-Aid packets when I was a kid. I think I designed a bracket for the first gen Pico Mem based off a design from the 1.1 version, I think. So I'll have to get with Chris on that because that might help me with mine.
Yes.
But I put one in this IBM PS2 Model 25, and that thing works great too. The Pico Mem. So yes, very neat project.
Sorry, I was looking at something.
So yeah, Sleepy,
Nice.
do you have anything going on? Anything new?
Not at the moment. I did get a new toy.
What'd you get?
That's it?
Let's see. Let's see.
Well, actually,
It's
I
a
got two
box.
new toys. And in this box is a Pi 1541.
Oh, that's awesome. I have one here
And-
somewhere.
One of these that I have to assemble.
I feel like I have one of those.
Yeah, it's a Smart Port SD.
This is the Fast Load Pi 15410. That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah, I got this from Gut Bomb.
Yeah, I just got mine directly from the source.
I can't remember what I got it with though.
Yeah, he got it
remember.
from Frank S, and I just got mine straight from Frank S.
Nice.
Oh, Frank S makes them?
He doesn't make them. He just got the parts to make himself one. And
Oh, gotcha.
Why buy one? Why buy one when you can buy
Yeah.
5?
Exactly.
So
Why buy 5 when you can buy 178,000 from jcm-1.com? Wait, what? We weren't
Because-
talking about me again? Sorry.
because JCM -1 doesn't make these yet.
Why? Why?
I don't know. Makes everything else.
Yeah, like once I bought parts to build video cables for these X68000s because there's only one person that makes the video cables online, and he charges $65.
Well, send me the stuff. I'll make the cables.
Yeah, because I was like, holy crap, it's really not that difficult. Why is it $65?
Because
Sheesh.
Yeah.
making cables is annoying.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at the number sold, it's pretty significant. I was like, wow, that's
Talking about that, I was telling Frodo that I got a hold of cables. Now that you mentioned that making cable is crap nuts. So I was asking people to see if they could make these cables, but I got them. Yeah, cheaper than send them to people and giving them grief.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yep.
But yeah, those are good to have because then you got your more realistic external drive.
Yep.
You know,
They're gonna be for that.
and all. So yeah, I don't really have anything else. We're getting close to the hour, so I think we did pretty good. Everybody got to share their VCF experience and what they liked, and all the projects everybody has going on. Which again, it's been a very busy, productive year for everybody. It seems.
Oh yeah.
Quite a bit of awesome projects across the board from the community. Speaking of Ron earlier, Ron had a lot of awesome stuff this year.
Oh yeah.
He had the TTL video boards and the different adapters for the Mac that he had come up with, which are all for sale at jcm-1.com. Speaking of, and here's another adapter board.
It's upside down, Javier.
Oh.
Not if you're in Australia.
Exactly. Australians could read it very well.
Hi,
Leo, how are you?
So yeah, this is from Ron. I'm gonna be testing it. Great products he's doing. So yep.
Yeah, Ron's had a lot of stuff this year.
Yeah.
So let's see what else. I'm trying to think because Ron had a bunch of stuff coming on. Now Rudy sells a lot of stuff too. He's got a lot of neat stuff. I got one of his. What was it? The pet companion board. He had sent me one, and I put it together. It was actually very easy to assemble this. So Rudy had really good instructions, and this was very easy to put together.
Yeah, he's doing great stuff too.
So that's
Special
good to
news
check
flash.
too.
Special news flash.
Hot off
Trina's
the
wearing
press.
the same shirt I'm wearing today.
Oh yeah.
So we're the best. That's all. That's
The
all.
Wonder Twins. That's
Wonder
awesome.
Twin power activate. Form of bucket. Shape of osh.
Boy, all,
Steve.
all the celebrities are popping in now. Leo and Steve, and there's Rudy. But yeah, the instructions on this pet companion board were awesome, and it was super easy to put this together. So yeah, check out Rudy's stuff that he's got as well. Really cool stuff. Like I said, everybody's got all kinds of neat projects going on. Let's see.
Yep.
So Leo and GJ Schurz this year, we had started up a new Naboo Discord earlier in the year, and there's been a lot of involvement and a lot of cool people on there that joined and have been communicating and actually building some new stuff and working on some stuff throughout the year. So it's great to see, a refreshed involvement, in the Naboo. Because that was a really neat project too that came out, and a lot of cool stuff that you're able to do with it now that you weren't able to do anything with them, not too long ago. So again, good things coming, from that side as well, from Naboo. A Jar Jar Binks Discord, yes, that is absolutely correct.
No.
From the Naboo.
No.
Lisa want to see that.
There you go. Rudy says he will be making an SMD version of the pet companion. So that'll be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Rudy comes up with some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely check out his stuff. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I got this week. It's been busy.
Yeah.
Everybody's been busy this year.
Everybody was tired, busy, but happy.
Yep, absolutely. So that's good. At least everybody's doing well. That's always a huge plus. So I have not heard any illness reports or anything from VCF. So far everybody has done well, washed their hands, sanitized, all those good things. So that's fantastic. Everybody had a fun, safe visit with each other.
A lot of people, they got their updated Jabba-doodles, and
that's right.
People were, behaving themselves, and if they weren't feeling well, they stayed off the floor. With one exception of one person who is a jerk, and that person needs to go away. There was one, I won't name names, but there was one person who showed up, knew they were sick on the plane or wherever they're on the way in. They're like, I literally don't care. It's like, yeah, that's kind of like...
that's what makes it bad.
Did you have a mask at least?
No.
Oh.
Nope. Absolutely no regard for anyone else, but it is what it is.
That's not very cool.
People are people.
Not very cool.
Yeah, but anyway, moving on.
Eric wants to know if Trina was twerking tonight. Yes, Trina went to work.
He is T-working. Yes, she
is working. So it'll be exciting when Trina gets back to hear about all the things she saw and found at work, because as most of you I'm sure remember, last year Trina came back with half of the show. Trina returned with so many tote boxes of things she was sorting and selling for months.
Good.
So who knows? She may run into another large collection of things this time as well.
Hey,
so that'll be exciting.
I will try not to buy everything.
Yeah.
Teamwork is also the dream work.
Trina Temu edition.
You're just now noticing that his name is.
I don't know.
It's been that the entire stream.
It wasn't right because it had
it was
GPT Trina.
Yes. Trina.
Chat GPT Trina.
And then when I took her picture down and it put me on, that's when I changed the name.
I would say AI Trina, but as Apple calls it, artificial intelligence. They won't call it AI, artificial intelligence. Speaking of, I posted in the lobby yesterday a really funny video. There's this guy that does funny reaction videos to things, and he did his translating apples thing, and oh my gosh, it was hilarious. It was a hoot. So yeah, you'll have to Google that or look around. We are hoping that either her or Stacy Netzel or Frank Lenhars from Retro Rewind, or maybe all of them, will show up at our tomorrow live from the show.
Yes.
I'm not following. So what is he talking about?
I
Coco
guess
Nation?
they're gonna be doing kind of a live broadcast from work a little bit.
Oh, awesome.
On the Coco thing.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Hi, I Joe, word no work.
Yes. Translate Joe. Yes, please.
Smack 84. Hello, I am Steve Jobs.
Artificial impersonation AI. There you go.
With
Apple
you never know.
intelligence, very on brand for them. That's true. Well, a lot of people have said why, to the Apple iPhone 16, because really there are no upgrades. And then they handicap the one phone, the regular 14, intentionally.
So they sell your
so that you get the Pro.
Yeah.
So they have all the same, engineering components, let's say, but they physically handicap it so that it doesn't outshine the Pro and people don't buy the Pro. So yeah, that's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But I don't know why. I'm surprised at this point.
Yeah.
Hello.
Canadian
Laurel.
Computer Collector. Hello.
Hi, not Ken. Why am I thinking Ken? Dan.
Dan?
Canadian Computer
John.
Collector.
Because
No, Big Bad Biologist John. That's who I was talking to. Other John. Dan. Yes, there you go. Steve.
Yes.
Yeah, Curtis, I too am intrigued with their AirPods doubling as a hearing aid. I think it's just a medical insurance thing. What's an untapped market that we haven't got? Medical insurance billing. Yes. So yes, we can all go out to an audiologist and get a hearing test and say, I'm sorry, I need the new Apple AirPods, please. Very interesting.
Oy vey. Yeah.
What?
So
Yeah.
he is the CCCP, not to be confused with the CCP. Two totally different things. So yes,
Sorry, I'm just
it's
laughing.
getting late in the evening.
Yeah.
So yes, thank you all for joining. We've had quite a few people in and out over the evening. And I appreciate all of you fine gentlemen joining us this evening to fill in for my co-hosts Trina and Ryan, who were both super busy this evening. Ryan did try to join from the truck he was driving, but the signal was horrible, so he kept dropping.
I can try to be third world Ryan. I'm tired to talk like him, but I can't.
So, from ABC World News, good night.
And good luck.
And good luck. Yes.